afternoon, everybody. This is Chris Clothier with another episode of the Grind Podcast. If you're listening to me in the morning, in the afternoon, on the weekend, random Thursday, it doesn't matter. I really, really appreciate you joining me. It's obviously afternoon where I'm at, and I feel like I'm about to be ambushed. I've been told that this podcast today is going to be another one of those read these articles and tell us how much you hate them episodes. Let me be serious for a second about what we're really talking about today. I'm going to leave my glasses on because I got to read one of the articles online and then the other articles and some paper here that they just handed me, but I haven't seen either one of them yet. I know what we're talking about, but I haven't seen the articles, and they want to get my reaction so that you can, kind of see how I react to some of the advice given in here. But I want to make sure that everyone knows before I even get started that we're not making light of the topic. And the topic is about like the mental health, happiness, the environment that can be created in the workplace. It's very, very important to us, and I speak on behalf of all three of the clothiers, that we create a workplace that really works for our team. We intentionally created our culture. And if you ever come to Memphis, look at that. If you ever come to Memphis Invest, who's now REI Nation, been that way for over 2 years. Look, if you ever come to visit us, one of the very first things you recognize is that we have a very, very specific culture. I mean, it's for companies, if you're an entrepreneur out there listening to this or an investor, either way, if you don't know what your culture is, you have a culture, and it is probably not exactly what it is you're shooting for. For us, we tried to be super intentional with the culture we created, and even to the effect that we intentionally let our team create that culture. And part of creating that culture is the workplace environment that feeds the mental health of your team. I bring all this up because for us, look, I mean, we say it all the time. You cannot be average and work here. And if you're an entrepreneur out there, that should be what you're shooting for. I mean, you don't want average. Who wants to be surrounded by average? You should strive to be surrounded by people that really want to be excellent no matter what it is they're doing. Now, you can't expect to have just this overachiever, super high achiever in every position, at every position of your company at all times, because super high achievers, people that really, really, really drive and push themselves, in some instances, if there's not a road up, if there's not a way to keep climbing to elevate what you are experiencing and what you are achieving, then they need to go elsewhere. They need to go, whether they do it themselves, they find another opportunity where they have that upward mobility and that chance to keep striving up. And that's okay. You have to understand that's going to be the case. But that doesn't mean you have to accept average. Find people that are driven, that want to be great at what they do, no matter what it is. Some will be climbers, and some will be, man, I'm the builder. I'm the one that lays the foundation for the company, and that's great. You're going to have roles like that in your company. But in the end, you still have to create an environment where they all can be mentally healthy. And so I wanted to be real clear before I read either one of these two articles that I'm not about to make fun of mental health at all. Like, I'm a big believer in it. But I also know that there's some craziness that goes on out there. There's some crazy ideas of what creates mental health and what really creates the right environment. And I believe that a great culture with the right environment will foster strong mental health. And then great policies from a company will foster strong mental health. That being said, I think there's also some craziness out there, and I think that's what they wanted me to. Kind of react to here. So let's talk about this for a second. Okay, as I'm starting to even look at these, it doesn't matter where these came from because I'm not going to say where they came from. But these are two resources for entrepreneurs to build a better, healthy workplace environment. Am I correct? Behind the camera? Okay, so one of them is called 20 Ways to Improve Mental Health in the Workplace. And of course, everyone references the fact that we've just come through a pandemic. It's changed the environment of the workplace, created a lot more scenarios where people are working from home, which in and of itself can be devastating to the mentality of the worker because, I mean, I know me, I work not 24/7, but I work all the time. I mean, I'm always, whether I'm on my phone, on my computer, getting alerts on my watch. I mean, I'm glued in, but I'm the owner of the company. Should everybody be that way? No, but I know that a lot of our people, when they work from home, they're just always at it. I mean, that's it. That's what's happening. They're always at it. That in and of itself can be bad for the mental health. But and then the fact that can also have a effect on people. So this is 20 ways to keep or get the ball rolling towards mental health for your team and the rewards it can create. All right. So they give us number 1, 20 ways to improve your mental health and feel better. Feel the negative. I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to go with that, but it says that it's super healthy to be negative. I'm not sure exactly what it's saying. It says different studies show that if you're like, yeah, I like feeling bad, I like feeling negative, then that can benefit you mentally. Am I supposed to go on? Because if all 20 are going to be like this, I feel like this is going to be a very short article response from me. All right, so I don't know what that means, but I do know this. All right, so are you going to have good days and bad days? Are you going to have up and downs? Absolutely. Accept it. Have a plan. If you're having a bad day, and this is something I tell my kids all the time, I don't know that I necessarily have ever said this to my team, but they're going to hear it now when they watch this show. If you're having a bad day, you need to have a plan. How do I deal with this? Like, what are the things I do when I'm feeling stressors or things that really, really fire me up? I have a very specific process I follow before I react. My wife, Michelle, gave me this great thing that she heard over the weekend through a Bible study, in fact, of learning to respond rather than react. When you're having a bad day, when you're feeling negative, when you got these bad things coming at you, that's when you really need to learn how do I respond to this rather than react to it. Reactions might be, I would say, even more negative, might create negativity around you. I don't know what the heck this means about feeling the negative. I'm all about, if you know you're negative, have a plan. We'll go there. I'm not sure if I agree or disagree with what the heck they're trying to tell us here. Number 2, and it only gets better. Talk. Oh, all right, cool. Get the agony of the inside story out. Okay. Is this about the workplace? Are you sure this is about, or is this like a relationship advice thing? Okay, cool. Oh my gosh. This says join the conversation on social media. All right. I'm about to lose it. Because I think social media is one of the worst things that's ever been created in the history of our planet. Because it gives people the ability to say whatever the hell they want to say without thought or and I'm not going to go there. I'm out. Okay. I'm out. I'm going to go on to number 3 before I get really crazy. Begin your day with a mindful morning. All right. I like that. Be intentional. I'm all about being intentional. So, and I make my team, I call it, and I would forget it right here as I call it, non-negotiable time, meaning take time that you block out of your schedule that's non-negotiable. You will not take a call. You will not make a sale. You will not attend a meeting. You will not, do anything other than what is exactly planned in that time. It's non-negotiable. You put it in first. You put it in at the beginning. That can be planning your day. That can be meditating. That can be, which is on here. That can be exercising, which is another one that's on here. Whatever it is, it's your non-negotiable time. It should be in everybody's schedule every single day. They say put in the morning. Cool, fine. Some people do better with that at night. Cool, fine. But give yourself some non-negotiable time. They say a mindful morning. All right, cool. This says make daily connections. All right, so what they're saying here, and I disagree with some of the dumb ways they tell you to do this. Zoom meetings are not connections. I don't care what they say. You can't have I've gone to a couple of these dumb things and lasted, no more than about 2 minutes of, let's all meet on Zoom and tip our cocktails to each other. And we're going to have cocktail hour on Zoom. I am like in and like, see ya, I'm out. That doesn't work. That's not really connecting. But the point of this, what they're saying here is that if you're working remotely, you need to figure out ways to be able to connect with other people. If Zoom is the only thing you've got in front of you, then have at it. You're going to, in my opinion, it's going to be hard to keep a positive outlook if you're never actually meeting and talking to people. That's my problem with some of the stuff that you just handed in front of me, Isabel. That talk through social media, make daily connections through Zoom. This is nuts. This is crazy. None of this feeds mental health in any positive way at all. Work your strengths. Because most of us view weaknesses as changeable, we tend to focus on weaknesses, but instead work on your strengths. I am 100% on board with that. That's the best one I've read yet. Why focus on what you're not good at? Be the best at what you're the best at. That's what's 100%. Work your strengths, and understand and give yourself credit that, hey, this is what I'm really, really good at. I'm going to make sure that I'm the best of the best at it. I love that. Continue progressing towards big goals. Dumb. I don't even know why that's on here. That should be a given. Get enough sleep. Okay, cool. 7 to 9 hours. I'm all over it. Consume a healthy diet. This is getting dumber. Exercise frequently. Slow down. Okay. Look. So I think what it's saying here in all of this, and I agree, you need to eat good, of course. What does that really mean? You need to sleep enough. What does that really mean? We all need different kinds of sleep. You need to exercise. What does that really mean? I think that the advice I would give out of reading this about creating workplace mental health is that encourage your teams, encourage yourself that you've got to figure out who you are. I referenced this in an earlier, podcast at one point about be you, and be true to you. If you need to find what works, okay? Not what works today, but what's going to work, something you can do every day. Motivation is not it. Motivation sucks. Motivation comes and it goes, and the day it's gone, it's gone. Now what do? Don't be motivated. Create a routine that works for you. I think that's what I take from this right here. Create a routine that works for you. What you do when you first wake up, the foods that you eat, the things that you enjoy. I don't know that it's in here, but I would say exercise. No. Yesterday, my brother brought me lunch. Brett brought me lunch from a sandwich shop, and he brought me a cookie that I didn't ask for. And I'm not eating cookies right now. I'm in a zone for me that I want to be in with what I'm eating and how I'm exercising and what I'm doing. And it won't work for everybody else. It's me. Okay. And I'm not motivated at all. This is long-term goals that I'm setting that I can't reach my long-term goal if I don't make these little things and exercise the word no. So it brings me this cookie, and I loved it. I left it sitting on my desk in the bag, and I looked at it all day, and I took it to my trainer that night, and I said, see, this is me exercising no, threw it in the trash. I appreciated the cookie from my brother, but I wanted to exercise my ability to look at it. I wanted it. All right, don't get me wrong. These are amazing chocolate chip cookies, but I didn't. I wanted to sit there and exercise my ability to say no. So I think that's what all this means. Figure out who you are and what works for you. For exercise, sleep, diets, all that kind of stuff, and then go with it. Set realistic goals. I'm going to tell you right now that the word realistic is the biggest bunch of BS I've ever heard. If we weren't recording something on video, I would tell Isabella to go over there to that light on the wall, that little button, and push it, and all the lights would go off, okay? In fact, Isabella, hit the button. See, this is what I think about saying realistic. It's unrealistic to think that you can hit a button over there and that light up there is going to go on and off. Go ahead. Hit it again. See? Hit it again. She's hitting a button. To think that that's realistic was insane 1 century ago. A little over. I mean, they didn't know. Somebody was like, you're crazy. You got to go kill a whale somewhere and dig out all of its guts and put that into some lamp somewhere to have light. That's how we light things. You need to create a candle with a wick. That's how we create light. But somebody else said, no, I can hit a button somewhere and light's going to be over here. So if the person had believed it was unrealistic to do something as crazy as that, we wouldn't have electricity that we have today. Somebody said, I can have this little box in my hand and I can push a bunch of buttons on it and talk to somebody halfway around the world that's in another, not time zone, but they're a day ahead of us over in somewhere in Asia. And I can just hit a button and I'm instantly connected to them. Somebody said that's what we can do. They never let unrealistic or the word realistic enter into their time frame. So throw that crap out of here. All right. I'm about done with all these things because I don't know that much of this has to do with the workplace. I think y'all tried to get me to have a bigger response to that. And I'm throwing that thing away. The other one is how to encourage workspace goals for health, I think was something y'all sent here to me. How to encourage workplace wellness. This is so silly. Create a productive environment. Encourage balance. Okay. All right. I like this because y'all got, this is something that I'm gonna tell everybody out there that's watching and listening right now. So years ago, we had a foosball table. We thought that creating a foosball table, and we brought in a coffee machine, and we started stocking, snacks, and and what we found was people didn't care. Nobody wanted to sit around playing foosball. We're a high productive environment. We are here to make things happen, and everybody is that way. Nobody wanted to sit around and play foosball. We didn't need to create yoga, quiet, safe space rooms that people could go into and, hum and chant. They didn't need that. That's not what our team needed. Your team may. What our team needed was, hey, give us tailgate parties. Let us, do big picnics out here where we invite all the vendors that we've never met before in. Let us do big events where we invite all of our clients to come in and meet us. And let's do things that are outside of this, cheesy. We want a pool place to be able to go play pool. We want we want to play foosball. You know what we used the foosball table for? Because it had sides that, the little ball goes down into, we put all of our dry erase markers and all of our dry erasers down in there so we wouldn't lose them. They stayed in there. So we'd go over to the foosball table, dip down in there and pull out the marker that we needed to write on the wall with. That's what it became a marker holder for us. Every once in a while, if I was up there writing on it, but I had a bottle of water, I had a place to set it on the edge so it wouldn't fall out and I wouldn't, spill it. That's what the foosball table became for us. I don't know that we ever played foosball one time. Not one time. It's not what our team needed. But our team probably needs more of the get-togethers. We watched our team. They would do potlucks, and they organized them on their own. We used to have these different buildings where all the different departments were in. And in property management, every single week they were doing potlucks, and the people loved it. They didn't mind making a dish that everybody would partake in. We would bring in not in each of those. I want to make sure that the team has all the credit because they did all that on their own. But when we would do big celebrations or big lunches or whatever, we would bring in a bunch of stuff and everybody would make all their sides and share it. It was amazing. It built this amazing camaraderie and environment that people loved being in. It was mentally healthy. But they didn't need the craziness. They didn't need yoga classes. They didn't need safe, quiet spaces where they could go and get, in touch with their inner feelings. What they needed was create an environment, give me the tools I need to be successful, tell me how it is I'm going to be successful, and then let me go. And then let me feed into my environment. I can tell you through the years that we as a company, we focused on creating a environment and a culture where people knew what was expected of them, and then they were given the environment to do it, the tools to be able to do it. Now, are there spaces, around our office where people can go to rest? Can they go? No, let me just be clear with that. When I say rest, can they go sit down in the kitchen or sit down on the couch in somebody's office? Just kind of, I'm taking a 5-minute decompressor and asking how your day was, or telling you about what happened to me. Of course, and we encourage that. But we long ago learned that to create the culture and the environment we wanted, we didn't need to tell people this is what you need to be eating. We didn't need to tell people this is what you need to be drinking. This is how much sleep you need to get at night. We didn't tell people that they needed to come in and you need to make sure that you take 2 breaks a day to go play foosball. All this kind of silliness that you read about at some companies. That may work for them. It doesn't work for us. You need to find out what works for you. For us as a company, what worked for us was, again, be transparent, be direct. Don't allow crazy phrases to come into our environment. Don't let people say, well, this is realistic or not realistic. Don't just create an environment where people are going to succeed, and then give them the tools to succeed, and then reward them when they succeed, and then give them opportunities to build their culture, the things that make them happy. And how we did it, I'm not 100% sure. I can just tell you that we were intentional with it. We knew what we wanted it to look like, and then we let the team go and create it. And so today, I think that we have a fairly healthy environment. I think we have a spot where people are, they've got the time they need. They're able to take the time off when they need it. They're able to go get their nails done during the week, and that was for women or whoever wants to go get whatever grooming they want to have done at any given time. It's there for you if you need it. Just here's the environment for you to be able to get your job done. Here's the environment for you to be able to succeed and get what you need done, and I'm going to give you the space and time that you need. Somebody needs to go visit family? Go. Somebody needs a day off here? Go. Somebody needs to come in late because they're doing something with their kid at school? Go. Do it. Absolutely, 100%. Just when you're here, you're in an environment where high expectations, you've got the tools to do it, and you're able to create the environment and the culture that achieves it. That's how I think you get mental health, the best mental health you can in your workspace. Guys, a little longer today. That was almost 20 minutes. I can't believe we went that long, but it's what happens when they try and give me these articles last minute and say, here, tell us what you think of this. I hope you enjoyed joining us here today. Look, I don't know how many podcasts we're in. I think we're probably getting close to 40 or 50 or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I'm loving doing it. I hope you're enjoying hearing it. Please let us know what you think. Send us any thoughts, ideas, questions, comments. I read them all. And until next time, guys, commit to the grind. We'll talk to you.